Welcome, folks. Thank you for joining me for another Friday morning practice. This is our second class, it's my second class of the day. Looking forward to doing a bit of dual lock and maybe even a little bit of Chen style. Let's take right hand in fist, please. Left hand straight together and press forwards. Lovely. And release, relax down. Let's do a little bit of winter warm up. We'll start gently patting shoulders. Our house has a little bit of a mind of its own. We have a thermostat. So when it's really icy outside, the house heats itself, which is nice. It's out of our control. But just in case it's chilly where you are, this is a nice wee start to your practice. Okay, our next one, we're going to look at the kidneys. So we're going to turn the waist and pat. Last one was lungs, and again we're going to the lung point up top and directly to the kidneys with the hand at the back, pushing the heel out. Good. Okay, and on to our next exercise, which works on liver, gallbladder, stomach, and spleen. We're going to hit front, back, and lap. You can see it from the corner. You're just swinging your arms basically and just letting them catch the leg. Breathe. Good. Okay, we're going to move on to more Qi Gong, similar but without the actual hitting. We're going to bounce and open, bounce and open. Breathe. Now, if you fancy it, you can add a little bit of extra mind practice by crossing over the different arm on top each time. But don't worry about it, just let the breath and the movement flow. Good, okay, and we're going to move on to our swinging with forwards and back. So rather like you're walking, but with extra swing. And feeling the bounce and release. Breathe. It's that lovely moment where the arms seem to hang in the air. And then the weightedness of the bounce. Good. Onto the dolphin slap. So it's not that you're slapping a dolphin, but the tail of the dolphin slaps the water. Up, slap down. Again, let the weight do the work. Feel that lovely play with gravity. Lightness and heaviness. Good. And now let's open to the side, releasing the toes, turning, bouncing. Don't forget to breathe. Good. Back to center. Let's circle forwards. And back. You see what's coming? Good, relax. Let's take one foot forwards and one arm forwards. Let's do the opposite arm to leg. A little bounce. Take your time. And change. Back with the other side. Good, let's put the two together. So we're going to bring one arm forwards and one arm back. And drop to the bottom, turn, throw the arms out. Lift, turn waist, throw the arms out. Drop and out. Up and out. Drop and out. Up and out. Drop and out. Little bit faster. 1, 2. Again, let the weight of the bounce do the work for you. And if you're ready, you can try a little bit faster. Swing. Good, well done. And rest. All right, we'd better do it on the other side. And hopefully you'll be truly warm, if not exhausted, by the time we finish. So the opposite hand to the leg that's forward swings forwards. Good, change. The same side swings backwards. Good, let's put them together. We'll slow it down to let the brain catch up. One hand forwards, one hand back. We drop, throw it out. Lift it up, throw it out. Drop and out. Up and out. Drop, throw it out. Up and out. Drop. Good, a little bit faster. Use the bounce. Feel the weightedness and the lightness. Good, let's see if we can go a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and rest. Well done, shaking out. We're going to do one more exercise with that. We're going to add the steps. So the steps are pretty easy. For this, we're just going to sit down and we're going to step and kick, step and kick, step and kick, step and kick. So it's unlike most Tai Chi, which comes through the center line. This one, we're just kicking it out behind. Try it, just try that on its own, please. If you go back in your space, release belly, hips, knees. We're going to step, kick, step, kick, step, kick. A little bit like ice skating. Good. Very nice. And again, we're going to sit, step, kick, step, kick, step, kick, step, kick, step, kick. Yay, easy enough. All right, so now we're going to add the arms. I'm going to do it sideways on. So take a foot forwards, doesn't matter which foot. I'm going to take my right foot forwards because my first step is going to be with my left. That's Tai Chi convention, but it doesn't matter too much. So let's have the left arm forwards and the right arm back. And we're going to, which way are we going to do this? Yeah, okay. So we start swinging. Left is going forwards, right is going back, and we have our little bounce. So you get the arms going first. And then don't think about it too much. You're just going to start to step. Ready? And step, 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 step. And then when you run out of space, see if you can go backwards. Good. Try again. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill your space. Change direction. Breathe. Change direction. And rest. Oh, well done. Oh, let's take a moment to just have a little shake out, shall we? Recover after all that. I have been known to complain at times when I found a warm-up was just utterly exhausting and I just wanted to go to bed. And then I give you a warm-up, just like that. That is good for us. Let's lengthen up, please, through the top of the head. Oh, sigh over to one side and just wibble wobble. Breathe. I find actually a lot of people struggle to do this. They don't have maybe the coordination or the ability to let go. So they're kind of doing this. But it takes practice, doesn't it? Just letting go, being a bit free. Good, float up, lengthen, over to the other side. Good. Keep breathing. All right, gently float up. Relax to center. Take the weight to one side. And let's try a wibble wobble down the legs as well. So I know that the Chen family do circles, and that's lovely. And this might look a bit like the circles, but my intention when I'm doing this exercise is just to, like the arms, to release and let all the muscles melt rather than necessarily spiraling. Even if it turns into a spiral, just let it melt all those muscles. Good, shake out on the other side. Breathe. So if you find that walking while circling the arms difficult, yeah, it is. It just takes practice. I felt that I'm out of practice, so it didn't feel so natural for me today. But just play with it, and you'll find that you'll find your way in how to walk to make it feel right, and you'll find your way, the rhythm, and when to step. Sometimes if you overly dictate how to move, people will find it more and more restricting, whereas that movement is all about freedom. It's just freedom of movement, circling, stepping, moving. It happens. Good, shake out. Little march. Let's do a little heel tap. And stand. Check your posture. Feel the top of the head floating up, the chin slightly down and back. And let's breathe. And feel into the whole body. Beautiful, well done. Let's bring the awareness gently back to the room, easing from your stance. Let's do a little stretch, please, just to further relax after all that manic movement at the beginning of class. So let's do our little variation of dancing with rainbows. We're going to lengthen up through the top of, through the fingertips. Think of being lifted by the wrist, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Let's release belly, hips, knees. Allow the tail to hang down. Press the other hand down the leg. Good. And now gently leaning into the hip of the raised arm. Good. Now I quite like to do 3 head positions. Let's look up first, breathing into it. And look forwards. And look down past the other hand's fingers. And release gently. And coming out of it, very good. You can adjust your clothing if needed. And let's do it on the other side. So we're going to lift up. And again, as if you're being lifted by a giant through the wrist, lift, lift, lift. Other fingers gently pressing down, release belly, hips, knees. Allow your tail to sink. Good. And gently bow into the hip of the raised arm. And again, we can look up past the fingertips, keep breathing. Look forwards. And look down. Release. Gently recover. That's a lovely one. I really like it. Good. And ease from your stance. And again, you can fix any clothing. Just take a breath. I find stretching can actually put me out of breath, which seems odd, but remember, stretching really opens your energy lines. So the more energy lines are open, the more capacity you have for energetic exchange. So you need more air. So I suppose it does make sense. Good, let's do another little stretch. This time we're going to turn the waist. And we will do, let's do Rhino looks back at the moon. So this is a variation of your resting stance position. So we're going to turn out the right foot just to the corner. Bring the left foot in behind. So that's your high resting stance. And we're going to slide diagonally back and sit down into your position. So naturally your body now will be on a diagonal. The heel at the back is still off the floor, but you can relax into it. So you'll feel that it has a certain, it engages at a certain stage. You're relaxing into it, but not letting the heel completely down. Let's bring the arms forwards, lengthening through the spine, and gently turn the waist. So you're turning over your front leg to point to the corner. So you're now in line with your back leg. You're breathing, relaxing through the stretch. Good, and recover. Gently draw the legs together, keeping them tightly crossed at the top. And now you can gently melt and sink down into your mid-resting stance. If you want to, you can overlap the tops of the legs completely and sit down into your low resting stance. Let's press down into the feet to come up, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Turning out left foot to the corner, bring the right foot in behind, sliding back, and again sitting down into the position so the back heel is still lifted, and we're on the diagonal. We're going to lengthen the spine on that line and turn. So you're not bending your back, you're just turning along the line and look back. Arm, your left arm now in line with your back leg. Keep breathing. Good, recover. Squeeze together and sink down. Let's get the knee in to the calf muscle. And if you want to, you can overlap the tops of the legs further and sit down. Good, up you come. And shaking out. Excellent. So, I'm going to pause the video for a second because I'm going to show something but you have to be in class live to see it. So, excuse me a sec. Good. So you see what happens when you don't attend class, you miss out on these moments, but not to worry. I'll go over it again. Right, so now we're going to have a look at our open door 5. We'll just do it once. We'll have a go at our Phoenix. We'll see how we get on with Phoenix. Maybe just do it once and then move on to the Immortals. So we'll see how we get on. I have a hankering to do a wee bit of Chen Style today, so we'll see how we get on. First of all, open door 5, please. Let's lengthen up and release, calming down. Gently press the fingers down. And open. Ready, start. Beautiful, well done, lovely. And close. Good. So our neighbours are spring cleaning like maniacs next door, and you can maybe hear sounds. I'm not sure how good this microphone actually is. So yeah, so excuse the little sound effects, please. All right, let's move on to our Phoenix form. We'll just do it once and do it well and see how we get on. And if you like, then we can do it again. All right, over to your right, please. Good, well done, lovely. Okay, so the question is, do you want to do it again, or shall we move on? Thumbs up for doing it again. Okay, let's move on. Oh, you do want to do it again? That was delayed. No, don't care. Let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. All right. So, so the Immortals. Now, every so often, maybe I should do this more often because it would be very useful for me. But every so often, I look back at a video of class that I've recorded, and I might even ask my husband, who's also a Tai Chi teacher and a Joe Lok practitioner and teacher. I ask him to look at my work and get feedback, you know, constructive criticism, and see if there's anything that could be improved. And of course, there always is. There's always something that could be better. And I had noticed, we both noticed actually, that sometimes when I'm teaching or trying to demonstrate it, I'm maybe exaggerating the moves a little bit or a lot. And the arms are not in harmony so much with the legs. So it's important that we have a harmony between the two. You'll hear in Tai Chi circles, we talk about the 3 harmonies, and I've also heard people talking about the 6 harmonies. I think I need the 6 harmonies explained to me, but anyway, the 3 harmonies are hands and feet, elbows and knees, shoulders and hips. So if you're in a big stance, you want to have a big arm movement, whereas if you're in a high stance, the arm position should reflect that and be not as big. And so I noticed in my last video that I watched, my stance was quite small, but my arms were bigger than they should have been. They were not in harmony. It was overextending. So that's something to pay attention to. That's something that I'm working on. Though when I'm teaching, as I say, I might get carried away. It's like this. No, you know, keep it so that the arms and legs feel connected and harmonious. And how do you know? Well, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but how do you know when it's harmonious? You'll know by the feel. You'll feel the energy is stronger, you'll feel more balanced physically, and just everything connects easily. Whereas when the arms and the legs aren't working together, it's harder work. You're putting in more effort, and you feel top heavy, a bit like a mushroom if the arms are big and the legs are small. So to be careful. If you want to go big all over, and if you want to go small all over, so that everything feels as one. Okay, so let's have a go, and I'm going to keep my stance medium, so I'm going to try and get my arms to match and resonate with that, keep it similar. Let's try. Ready? We lengthen up. And relax down. Pressing the fingers down. Let's begin. Good. Well done. How does it feel? Oh, I find the Immortals form, even containing it a little bit more the way I was trying to there, it's a good workout. It works the body. So just a wee thought to pop at you. As we practice in Tai Chi and the years go by, you know, if you really enjoy it and you stick at it, you're working away at it, working away at it. And we might fall into the trap of thinking that we're progressing, so our corrections should be deep and profound and subtle, and of course they are sometimes, that's the way of it. But more often than not, our corrections tend to hark back to very basic principles that we may think that we're applying, but actually we're not fully embodying. And I find that again and again, that actually when I'm given corrections, it's not some subtle elusive thing, it's basic principles. Just like there, it was, you know, my arms were too big and my stance, arms were too big for my stance. That's a basic principle. The three harmonies, I preach it endlessly, you know, get the hands working with the feet. But it's one thing to understand it, it's another thing actually recording yourself and watching it back is a brilliant way to cut through the illusion of what you think you're doing and to actually see it and go, oh, yeah, that basic principle needs a bit of attention. So it's quite terrifying in a way to video yourself and watch it. But if you put your ego aside and just do it, you will find that it's very beneficial, very like using a mirror, can be incredibly confrontational, you know, that you can see yourself all the time. Whereas if you're just doing it out in the park, you think, I'm doing beautiful Tai Chi. And you stand in front of a mirror and go, ah, it's all wrong. So yeah, if you're happy enough to pop your ego to the side and just use these for what they are, tools, you can really make huge progress. Again, yes, there are plenty of subtle little corrections, but just stick to the basic principles and you won't go far wrong. They can take you right to the very high levels. It tends to be that the little fiddly corrections are just using the basic principles in a more refined and enlightened way. Yeah, okay, so what do you say? Would you like to do a little bit of silk reeling to finish? Or form, Chen Style? Yeah, Chen Style? Okay, all right, let's have a look at our Lao Jia. We've got 10 minutes and really Lao Jia takes 15 minutes at a sprint. So why don't we go from part 3 and we'll just do part 3 and 4 of Lao Jia, so half the form. And that's the part, I don't know about you, but that's the part that I feel I need to work on a little bit more. So we'll try it. So we'll go from our punch. And if you don't know the form, happy days, just follow, relax. So let's take a moment and prepare. Calming down. Prepare to punch. Nice and steady. Punch. Part 3. Just take more space anytime you need it. Adjust your stance. Inside wing one. Jade maiden. This is the second cloud hand in the form. This is part 4. I'm going to come a little closer to you. Third cloud hands. Come a little closer again. High pat on horse. End of the form, we do our little circle and rotate. This is your diagonal punch down. We're going to actually kick and bring ourselves to face the front again, just so you can follow me. Well done. Good. So that's half the form. It's the second half of the form, and it has just given us a minute to spare. So well done. Hope that was fun. I love Lao Jia. We'll maybe have a chat about that. Shall we start to introduce Lao Jia into this class regularly? I still do a Wednesday morning Lao Jia class, that they're just getting to the end of the form. But I think it's a good form. It would be nice to introduce here, but I'll let you think about it and let the class communicate. Down to the legs, please. Knees. More legs. Ankles and feet. And up the body again. Just allowing the swing to go gentler and gentler. Just a little thought about injury. That was why I paused the video earlier, just to talk about injury and how to release things. Just to make something clear to you, that if you have muscles in spasm, if there is a cramp, please don't try to stretch it out, because what you'll end up doing is tear the muscles. Think of it like a knot. You know, if you have your jewelry all tied up in a knot, your chains, you'll not fix the problem by trying to pull. You'll just make the knot tighter, and then when it won't go any tighter, it breaks. And that's exactly what happens with your muscles. The fascia is designed to release, but the muscles, you know, if you're trying to stretch them while they're knotted up, they will just tear, and you'll end up making the issue worse. So if you have knots of muscles, if you have a painful area, I think the first order of action is to try to release them. So you can make them nice and warm, you can gently massage, gently palpate, you can do breathing exercises, just easing your movement, move with them, but don't just go, oh, there's a knot, so I'm going to stretch it, because you'll just make it worse. So be careful of that, please. Let's do a little heel tap. And stand. Breathe into your body, feel into your body. Notice the energy express. And let's come to center, please, hugging your elbows in. Breathing into your center. Feel the energy flowing into your belly. Feel your energy is stronger. Lovely. Well done, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. And if you're watching this on video, thank you for watching the video. Please do feel free to use it again and again. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Be safe out there in the snow.